talk about the not your average granny, because we're not your average granny crochet along. We're using granny squares that are unique and fun and more modern. And we have assembled those in several different ways. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But first, we have some exciting news. Today, we are going to be giving away this collection live. So comment. We're going to pick someone from the comments on this live towards the end of the live today, and we are going to give away this collection to one lucky person, and you'll get all the bonuses in there. Actually, I guess we can just talk about what someone's going to win today, and then everyone else will know that's what it is. Yeah. So we are coming to you again, and if you have any questions about this, because today is the starting day officially of this crochet along that's happening in our community groups, which means everything is live. But if you jumped on that purchase last week where you could get the VIP experience, I have seen so many people already starting. I love all the posts in our community groups. We are seeing granny squares pop up left and right in beautiful, beautiful colors. But if you haven't yet, hit that QR code. Michelle's put it on the screen for us. You just simply click it or push it on your phone, take a screenshot and push it later. And that will take you to all the information that we're talking about today. But one lucky winner is going to win 3 garment patterns. We're all wearing them. And they're all different, which is really exciting. So it's not like you're just making one type of garment. We have 3 different type of garments. And then we also have 3 very unique and different bags. So you get a garment and an accessory. Should we hold up our bags?
Yeah.
Yes, let's do it.
You've even finished yours already, Brianna. Like, it's amazing. I've seen people posting pictures of finished
Pixie bags. Yes. In like different weights of yarn, which I love. Yeah, it's because it's only 7 hexagons, so it's like the quickest project in the bunch.
Oh, it's so good.
And it's fun.
I love it. I love it in the billow. It was billow, right?
Yes, this is in the billow from We Crochet. We also have that linked. But really quick, when we're talking about yarn, the yarn for all of our garments and our bags that you're seeing in the Upcycle Alpaca Worsted, you can get a 50% off coupon for this yarn right now simply by signing up for the Crochet Along. Free version, the VIP version, whatever it is, sign up. Because that's amazing.
I still can't believe it.
No.
It's
50% off. And it's
50% off.
Yeah, such a beautiful quality. And it's upcycle. So it's made from all the leftovers. So it's, eco, like a great eco yarn. So it's great. Yeah. Using up the leftovers so there isn't waste, which is amazing.
I know. It's just so friendly. It's nice. And then let's talk about value with that though. So we have garment patterns, and as everyone knows, it takes more yarn to make a garment versus a bag. And so often in our community, when people are rating their stashes, they'll say, do you have any like sweater or cardigan quantities? Because it does take more than a couple balls to make a sweater or a poncho or a coatigan. And if you really think about it, though, this is your amazing, amazing time to jump on this, because the full cost of these in this luxurious yarn is half off.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's a steal.
Yeah, definitely. And the thing is that the yarn is so lovely to wear, isn't it? As long as you're all right with animal fibers, because it is a mixed blend, isn't it? It's got alpaca, wool, and acrylic in it. But I feel like it's quite, because someone asked me the other day about how does it stand up for the bags, and I think it's actually quite durable, even though it's really soft.
Yeah,
I think it will work really and last really well for the bags. So it's a really lovely yarn to work with, and it's the most glorious colors, isn't it?
They're so beautiful modern shades, and we've used a lot of them. We've shown them, and in the supply list when you sign up, there's also some color inspiration in there, so you can see all the beautiful colors together. You can't really go wrong, and other people have commented that in the group, that it doesn't really matter almost what you pick. They're all going to go together, I think, beautifully. So
it is.
Well, that's why I ended up with so many in my other version, because I was like, I'll order all of them and just, choose a few. And I just ended up using all of them because I was like, well, they all go, so why not?
They do. They're such beautiful tones too. I love the tones in this line. And then if you're making a bag, especially if you're to do one in a solid color, it's just so, and I have loops here because I love changing out the handles of this, but it's so affordable right now. And if you're worried about it at all being like partly wool, alpaca, and stretching it all. We have tutorials. I have a tutorial of how to do a no-sew bag liner that's super simple. Sometimes I think we overthink bag liners, but they don't. You're not sewing a bag that has to look pretty on the outside. You're just doing a liner. So no one's going to see the inside, but it will be a nice lining inside of there if you're worried about it at all. Like if you like to carry small items and you're worried it might fall through these holes, go ahead and throw a bag liner in there. It really doesn't take too long. You can even use scrap fabric you might have around. That's a great thing to do too if you want to like reinforce it to really make it last a long time.
Yeah.
If you're like me and you love to throw everything in your bags and abuse it a little bit.
So I was thinking, and the shape of mine and yours, Michelle, they if you cut the handles off an existing like fabric tote bag, just that would work perfectly. You don't need to even make one. You could just put a bag inside your bag.
You could.
Yeah, you definitely could. Yeah, whatever, just get creative. That's what we are as designers. We're creative. We know all of you that crochet are creative too. So just, pull out those creative skills. And Brianna has a tutorial, but there are lots of tutorials out there as well. And it really, all you have to do is trace your shape.
Yep.
A little bit, larger, you just trace it. And that's really as simple as it is. And then just hand stitching.
Yeah, or fabric glue. I've used fabric glue so many times.
Even tutorials on that too, the fabric glue. Because if you really don't want to hand stitch, just use fabric glue.
That's what I do.
Easier. Awesome.
Oh, Annette's asking, can you add wooden handles? You did to one of yours, didn't you, Brianna?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, there's pictures of that.
Yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
It's fun to experiment with handles. Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Lots of people coming in. That's so awesome. Once again, if you're just coming in, please say hello and comment because we're going to be picking a winner today for our collection. Someone asked where I found the wooden hook on the Hexie bag. I think that's in my Amazon shop from what I wanted to remember. I'm guessing. So I have that on my website. I have like an Amazon shop where you can look at everything that you might have seen in photos. So many people saying hello from Connecticut, hello from all over. So I want to know who has started one of handle not hook. The handle's linked in the supply list. The handle I believe is linked in the supply list. If it's not, I'll get it in there. They've been binge watching. That's awesome. Tell us if you have started and what project you have started working on. We are loving seeing all of the projects pop up in the community groups. So also if you're not part of our community group, be sure to hop in there. It doesn't matter where you post. Like, don't get confused or feel like, oh, I'm not supposed to post, Michelle's bag in Hannah's group. No, we do. We want to see it.
I want
post it all three.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Post it everyone.
Some people can get confused with my group because it is specifically for my patterns, but I do have in the rules if it's the crochet alongs, it's okay. So yes, make sure that it's okay. We will approve those posts if you're posting one of the patterns from the crochet along. We will approve that to go into my group. So no worries there.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, there we go. Someone has said, the comments are moving so fast, I can't keep up.
They are moving so fast. There's
started working on hand jam sweater poncho. Yay! And I made one square for Brianna's cardigan to get gauged. Yay! Well done. Oh, it's Junie. Hi, Junie.
I love someone said they were practicing a lot of the squares, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
If you're not sure you want to make like the larger garments or anything like that, just make a square. Make a square and see how you like it. And then you will know. It's like a zero risk project. And then we talked about before, like if you make a square and you have this cute little square and you're like, okay, that was fun, but you know what? I think I'm going to do the bag instead. This is like down the road type project. You now have like a coaster, or Caitlin was saying last week we were on We Crochet, you could fold it in and have like a little button on there, and you can do like a coin purse. Like you can use this for other things. For me, I always like end up using these as coasters because we live in Florida and you have to use coasters here. You will ruin your furniture if you do not use coasters everywhere. It's just the the humidity in any glass of water is going to sweat and leave a ring. I don't care what time of year it
We don't have that problem here.
is. Yeah, we do. So I have a billion coasters just because
We
I
still
need them around.
we still need coasters because I have messy children that drip their drinks. So, you know.
That too. That too.
Oh, yeah. Someone's already finished the hexagon bag. Yay.
So fun.
Oh, it's so exciting. It's so exciting. And
if you haven't started yet, because I see a lot of people saying they're working on other things, no stress. No stress. The only thing that you would need to jump on today is our collection, because our collection is a limited time. After a certain amount of time, our collection will go away. So if you want to get the VIP treatment with all the extra guides, you're going to want to jump on that now, because eventually you won't be able to get them all together with all those guides and everything. And Michelle, do you want to talk about the guides that are in there?
Oh, yeah, for sure. So the guides, we have put together a gauge guide. So that's going to help you understand gauge, lots and lots of information about gauge, and also specific to the granny squares as well, because you want to make sure that you are blocking your granny square so that you have the right measurements. In all of our patterns, we'll tell you the size of the square. Not as important with bags. So if you don't mind your bag being a little bit smaller, a little bit bigger, like Brianna showed by using a bulky weight with the worsted weight pattern, that's okay. But for the garments, if you're not meeting that gauge, it's going to change the size, like even just a little bit, because I have so many squares working around my body. If it's just a ½ an inch on one square, you put that around your entire body, you're going to end up with a much bigger or smaller garment. So you want to make sure. So we've included that guide for you, and also a seaming guide that Hannah's put together. So all different types of seaming, because really you can mix and match with your favorite seaming method. You don't have to do them the same. Like you don't, like if I've used one type of seaming, you could switch it out for a different if you prefer that. So Hannah put that together for us. So nice, beautiful bonus. And also a project planner. So we have a project planner as well that you get when you purchase the VIP experience. And you also get that project planner when you sign up for free. So make sure you go sign up. That is important, because if you sign up, you're going to get all the goodies and you're going to get all the information, the supply list with the coupon code, all the stuff. So you want to make sure that you do sign up, even if you're joining for free. But if you purchase the VIP experience, you're going to get all those extra guides and coupons for our shops too, right, girl?
Yeah.
I keep forgetting like how much we put into it all.
It's so much once we start listing it out. Like at first I'm like, oh, let's just also do this or also do this. And then once we start listing it out, we're like, whoa, is that too much information? Did we put in too much? Is that overwhelming? But they were like, no, we want you to have the best experience possible. And so we're going to give you all the tools and resources for that.
Mm-hmm. And the coupon code, sorry, I just wanted to mention again that the coupon code is just for the upcycle alpaca yarn. So if you're looking at the substitutes and wanting to pick a substitute instead, they do not apply to the 50% off. It is just the upcycle alpaca blend, but they have offered you the sport as well. So you can buy the worsted or the sport yarn and get, so if you have a project that you want to have some sport, and the sport is very, like, this worsted is really, we almost feel like it's more like a sport. So their sport is probably almost like a fingering. Like it's, so if you have any projects that you think you could maybe use the yarn for, order it now. Will you have that discount?
Yes.
Yeah, because that finishes when the crochet along finishes, doesn't it, on the 8th of November. So the coupon code will disappear after that.
Yeah. Get in there and get that yarn ordered, because the thing too is you can always order for other gifts. Like if you're making hats, I know Michelle and I are going to be coming out with hats soon for this with this yarn. But if you're thinking quick gifts, like order for this and then throw in a few extra balls, because at this price, it's such an amazing gift. And it's a way to gift someone a really nice quality yarn for basically the price of an acrylic. Yeah. So it's a like prime opportunity. If you think you're going to be making any accessories over the holidays or anything like that, throw yarn into your cart. Do it.
Yeah.
I
want to again, just for Michelle here, you want to go sign up. So in the description box, we have a link, or you can scan the QR code up in the corner, and that will take you to all the information. Once you sign up, you will get the supply list, which gives you all those details.
Yeah.
And all the patterns starting today are on our blogs now too. So all of the patterns, if you're joining for free, are on our blog. So mjsoffthehookdesigns.com, briannakdesigns.com, and handjancrochet.com. So
And all the videos are released. We have videos for every single project.
yeah. So
Someone asked if we each have other patterns that use this yarn. I'm trying to think if I currently have one out. I don't. I think this is my first release with this yarn, I want to say.
Yeah.
But I will have an entire collection next month too. Either way, like if you're looking at this yarn going like, okay, I want to order some, but I want to use it for something else too. We have so many patterns in our shop that you can substitute as well. And that's what a lot of times our guides are really good for. We talk about, how to do substitutes sometimes, how to match gauge when you're doing certain things so that you can take one of our other patterns and use this yarn for that pattern too. I would say your best bet if you're going on our blogs and you're looking around is to look for something made with like a DK weight.
Yeah,
I think
say that. Yeah.
Right. That's the kind of the best substitute weight to stick in for this yarn, just because it's a little bit lighter than your average worsted.
Yeah. And my hat should be out probably the weekend or next week for sure that I have coming out in this. I need to get some cute pictures of my granddaughter modeling. I'm so excited. I think her mommy has her outfit washed now because she has a really cute little like plaid dress, and I made her a little orange hat. So I can't wait to get some cute pictures of her.
That was so fun.
She's so sweet. Yeah. But hopefully she's in a good mood and we can get some cute photos of her today.
It's always hard with little ones. You just have to like catch them in the right mood, because then they're all giggly and cute. But if they're like tired, it's like, nope, don't even try. Don't even try.
That right. The timing has to be right.
Yes.
I know. She loves clapping, and we sing pat a cake to her, and that usually gets like an instant grin. And she loves my daughter Megan, and she loves her her auntie Megan and her uncle Garrett. Like they just have to talk to her, and she's excited and happy.
So it sounds like a family photo shoot, not just everyone needs to be there.
Lots of people, I think, Hannah making the Franny Granny poncho sweater.
Yes. Tracy just joined from Florida. She's joining late. And where does she access the patterns? And she's just going to the Facebook groups too. So I think the quickest way is to hit that QR code, get all signed up, and then inside there it has links to every single pattern. Or you can also be on our email list, because we all send out emails. Like we're trying to give the information as many places as we can. Or you can even jump on our blogs, and we all have information for the entire collection, like VIP experience, and the individual patterns are now on our blogs as well. I love it. Oh, I feel bad. I see so many people saying they're having such a hard time choosing. And yeah, I don't envy you. Like it is so hard to choose which project. They're all so amazing. We've had a hard time. I want to make Michelle and Hannah's too. And I'm like, oh my gosh, do I have time? I feel you. I mean, they're on my list.
But it's not a race, is it? Like with all of our longs, like, if you make one before Christmas and you make another one next year, and then like it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Once you have it. And I mean, with the granny squares, what's awesome is that you can just be making them like whenever. You can just be collecting your squares as you go. Really easy on the go. I have We Crochet now has this cute little bag that has all of you can put all of your strands, so you can take this with you and just be working on your granny squares on the go. And over time, you're going to collect them all, and it'll be amazing.
And once you do a few, it gets stuck in your head, and you won't really have to look at this. I mean, you can always just print the chart, which the charts are included in our VIP experience too in the collection. But you can print that, throw it in that bag. But after a while, I guarantee you'll make so many that you won't need to look at it, and it'll just be second nature. And you can just be like in the pickup line for school, making a few granny squares. And before you know it, like do that every day in the pickup line or the doctor's office or wherever, the train ride into work. And all of a sudden you've got a cardigan just because you've made, a few each day.
Like, how satisfying is it when you've made them all and you've blocked them all and all the ends are in and they're just sat there waiting to join? I love
Oh,
it.
I know.
Me, or is that just like the best feeling?
No, it's the best. It's the best. It's also therapeutic. Like I just talked about all these places, like the school pickup line, train commuting into work, doctor's offices. I'll be honest with you. I just named places I don't want to be.
I was wondering that.
But the thought of being there with yarn all of a sudden sounded like that's a fabulous idea. Like instead of somewhere you don't want to be, it becomes somewhere where you get some moments to yourself. And these granny squares will work up so quick that even if you're only sitting in the doctor's office waiting for 8 minutes or something, you can whip up one. And it will
two in the time that we've been talking. Like they don't take
Yeah,
long.
just made a granny hexagon again. I want another one. Not that I want to be here, though. I just want to clarify. I want to be here. I just don't want to be in a car pickup line at school. Or those take forever.
Yeah. Someone's just said a meeting at work. Yeah.
A meeting at work. Yes.
So I just want to address this question to Michelle about the gauge guide. So it is similar. There's a lot of information that was covered, but then there's more information specific to the granny squares. But it is a similar guide if you're thinking, do I need both? They are similar, but different at the same time. Different.
We're measuring squares as opposed to rows and rounds, aren't we?
Yeah. Which I almost think is easier. Because a lot of times too, you'll find that granny squares, when you make them, do not be shocked if I'm looking for one that's maybe not blocked around here, that is all curled in and it doesn't look you're like, what's wrong with my granny square? It doesn't look as nice as like theirs. It's because we blocked it. And so that's the beautiful thing about granny squares is a lot of times they have a lot of flexibility in them to where it's easier to get the sizing because you're just going to take all your granny squares and you're going to block them to the exact same dimension.
Yeah. I can't say it popped up earlier. There was someone asking about they'd started making a square, and I don't know for which one, but it was measuring like a lot larger than it ought to.
Oh, I missed that one.
And here we are. Oh, there we are. Krista saying I'm doing the. Oh, I keep moving the poncho, and I didn't check the gauge, and it made my size 2 squares 5.5 inches. So that's like 2 inches bigger than it ought to be. So I think. You need to go back to square one, unfortunately, and figure out, if your yarn and your hook are creating that size of a square, then like, have you got the right weight of yarn? Probably you're a much different crocheter tension wise than I am. So you're going to need to really adjust your hook size. And Michelle's guide will tell you all about that. Like I read it and I was like, oh, this is good. Like, sometimes.
So I found if she's using like another worsted weight yarn, it will not shock me if it comes out that much bigger, because I was swatching with Brava worsted, a similar square to this, and it came out significantly bigger. So that's where when we say this is like a light worsted, it is very light. It can have some variance from ball to ball as well. So you really want to check your gauge. And if like she was maybe using another worsted, not this brand, she may want to find a lighter weight yarn.
You might, because it all depends. But I feel like there are some worsted weight yarns where even if you can get your square to the right dimensions, it might not have the drape that you want. It might be a little bit too stiff. So that's the other thing to check is like make one. In terms of gauge swatches, these have to be the easiest gauge swatches because you just make one. And then block it and then see if you like it before you proceed. Like, is it the right size? And how is that, like, do this? How is that drape for you? Is it too stiff? Is it too loose? Like, where is it at? And if you like it, proceed. You're going to be just fine. But if it's too stiff, maybe consider a different yarn. That's really the only solution. If it's too bulky and too stiff and too tight, is the yarn may not be the right weight for this project.
Yeah. And I find that it's the fiber too. Like, cause even when you're going to an acrylic, cause this is a natural, even though it's a blend, it has some acrylic in it, but with the natural fiber, I feel you just get a lot more movement. Acrylic tends to, unless it's a really soft acrylic, it does tend to be a little bit stiffer, I find. So
Yes.
yeah, and somebody was asking about the coupon codes, where they find the coupon codes for our shop. So
Oh,
when
yes.
when they sign up, you guys maybe can fill them in on how they're going to get the codes.
Yeah, when they sign up, when you go to, like, if you click on that QR code, whether you're joining for free or the VIP experience, you're going to get like an invoice sent to your email box. And at the bottom of that invoice is a button. And on that button, that's where you're going to either make a login if this is your first time joining us, or you're going to use your previous login. And we also have the login page if you're not sure where that's at. If you've been there and you're like, how do I get back? We have that login page for you. But then you're just
I'm going to paste it into the comments for them.
yeah,
Oh,
perfect.
Just have that login page, just because I know some people have been messaging us saying that they can't find their email. Right. So we'll just make sure that we pop that in the comments for people.
And then, yeah, if you can't find your email, you can just log in through this link that Michelle just posted there. And then inside there's a beautiful course. I wonder if we can share a screen. I'm going to see if I can log in. Where's my mouse? Where on the left-hand side, there's going to be a menu, and there'll be different sections for like finding the blog post, finding your PDF file downloads, all the good stuff. And then in there, we have the coupon codes and like our individual shop specials that we're doing right now too. So that will be on the left-hand side. We can also, if you're having trouble accessing that, let us know, because we can also like do that, get you that information. And then the nice thing is, if you want, this is what I would suggest. If you're logging in, bookmark that page. Just
save it.
first thing, like bookmark it, so then you can come back to that information at whenever you need, and it's always there for you because you have unlimited access. So you're definitely going to want to bookmark that login page, and that link that Michelle just posted. I think that's to purchase it, and then we also
is to log in for people.
That's to log in. Okay, that's to log in,
Log in.
and that's the page that you are going to want to bookmark.
Yeah,
That way, it's very easy to come back. I'm worried. I'm like clicking on my screen, and I'm not going to touch it now. I think I don't want to like mess something up where I like if I leave the call, it's because I clicked the wrong button. Just so y'all know.
That's okay. Okay, so someone's asking, when does the collection end? It ends November 8th. So you can.
So does the coupon code.
Yes.
And someone else was asking about what the coupon code works on, and it only works on the upcycle alpaca yarn because that's the yarn that we crochet and we chose for this event. But it does work on the sport weight or the worsted weight, and it's just for that yarn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But now everyone can get the coupons for our shop, whether they sign up for the free or the paid. You will still get those discounts for our was it Etsy?
I believe so.
Yours at
Mine is Etsy.
Etsy? I think it was Etsy.
Yeah.
Hannah's is a course.
Discount for my course, my new color course.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, make sure we clarify that. Already there's so much that's happened. We forget. We need our own reminders.
Definitely.
So I've seen a lot of comments where people are saying, and I just want to talk to everyone about this. We love crochet, obviously, and we love working together. We love collaborations, but the main reason why we love them, and we've been doing this for 2 years now, is because we get so inspired when you pick up yarn and try this. Like, we want you to do it no matter what. So I've seen quite a few comments where people are saying, going into the holiday season, the budget is tight. I feel you. We all feel you. It can be that way some years. Some years are tighter than others. And sometimes we have to make those decisions like, oh my goodness, I would love to join this crochet along, but I just don't have it in the budget right now. Well, guess what? We love you too. We love everyone in this crochet world. That's okay, because these patterns are free on our blog. So go raid your stash, because we all know we have some yarn sitting around, or look for those coupon codes. See, I've even seen people go to thrift shops lately, and they'll find like a sweater, and they'll get it for like $3 or something, and they'll undo the yarn and use it for something else. Like, do whatever you need to do to join us, but just know that because we love these events so much and because we love our crochet community so much, that is why we offer 2 ways to join. And one is free on the blog, where you can make every single one of these cardigans and every single one of these bags from our blogs. Or if you prefer a VIP experience, you can get the downloadable printable PDFs with the guides and the extras. So we offer 2 different ways because we want everyone to join. We don't want you to feel left out. You're not being left out, I promise. Just because you're on a tight budget does not mean you cannot join this crochet along. Click that button and get signed up, and you're going to get some amazing stuff right away.
Definitely. And there is even a third option, isn't there? Because we've also all added the individual PDF patterns to our own Etsy and Ravelry
Etsy shop.
So if there's just, you still will have the best deal if you get all of them together. If you're going to buy PDFs, buy them all together because it's the best deal. If there's only one thing that you want to make, then just go find that pattern and then come and join us using that pattern as well.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yep. And all the videos are for you to view on YouTube to guide you through those important steps. I know, especially with my granny square, on some of the rounds, we are working a little bit backwards for that very first stitch. We're working kind of back into the previous space. And if that throws you off, I've got a visual in the video that will like make it super, super simple to understand. And that's why we love doing videos, is because it's just the learning style we all come from. Crochet is a very like visual experience, as it should be. And so we do the videos to help with any questions you may have. Jump on over there. It's most likely answered in the video.
Definitely.
Oh, someone said they're using project from yarn from their stash.
Yeah.
Of course.
Happy Place.
Oh, someone said they're trying to figure out how to get to the free blog. So sign up. The QR code you see there, you can sign up for free or get the VIP experience. Either way, you're going to be directed to a login, and inside that login is all the organized links to every single project on the blog.
Mm-hmm. And that's also where you get the supply list if you're having trouble, which I think I just popped that up. They don't know where to find. So we had linked, just probably if you go back in the comments a bit, we linked where you go to log in to your account and you can get your supply list.
And the coupon code to get the yarn on sale and the free project planner PDF guide, which is super helpful if you are making any of these for gifts. You can really keep organized, because like if you're like me, and I did this again this morning, if I am like picking up the house really quick, I threw everything in a basket. And now I've got I was like, oh, what? That was a big mistake, because I had them organized last night on the couch and I realized, what size was I making of that hat in that color? So when you use a project guide, I'm not worried, because I did write this one down. I used my own project guide for this, where I wrote down the size of hat I was making and the color of yarn I was making to keep it all organized. So now when I go back to that basket where I threw everything in, I will know that, you know what, this pink hat, I was making it in the child size and I'm good to go. I know where the instructions are for that size and I can pick it right back up. So a lot of times, especially for the holidays, when you're making several gifts in several different colors and sizes, because we often do pick colors for people. Like, I wouldn't make my husband a certain color of hat that isn't really his wardrobe vibe. I want to make one that would look well in his wardrobe. And so when you're doing that for a lot of people, it's nice to organize that yarn, any notes you may have for yourself, deadlines if you want to give yourself deadlines for when the gift needs to be done. Those project guides are super helpful.
Oh, Brianna, I need you to organize me. If only I was that organized.
I've only started doing it lately. I haven't always done it. It's just because I find myself in trouble every once in a while where I'm like, because some sizes, I don't want to have to sit there and count stitches to figure out like what row and what size I was on.
Yeah.
Because they might be so similar, like a toddler to a child. It's like visually, sometimes you can't always see the difference really, really quick. So when I'm making lots of projects, like right now, I'm making a range of hat sizes. I was like, you know what? I'm going to write down the size, the yarn I'm using, the color I'm using. And I'm even going to, this is the one that gets me. I'm even going to throw the hook size on this piece of paper, because if I have all my hooks next to me, I have done this where I picked up the wrong hook thinking, oh, for sure I made this with a G hook. No. It was an H hook. And then no wonder it didn't size correctly. And I was like, I had to undo it and start over. So
taking pictures of the hook and the yarn.
Oh, that's smart.
And then I'm like, what was that? But then I don't even know what I'm making with it. I just know that is that hook and that yarn. I'm like,
I just have to make a comment here because people keep commenting that my screen's blurry, and I apologize, but it's just my internet connection. I can't change it. There's nothing I can do about that. If I go to try to log into data or anything, it's going to shut the whole video down. So unfortunately, rural internet is not the best, and we're stuck with, I guess, a blurry screen of me. So I apologize, but
I can hear you beautifully. Don't worry.
Yeah, there's nothing I can do about that. And also someone's asking about the underarm seam on the Swancho.
Oh, yes. So actually I wanted to mention this at some point today anyway, because lots of people have been asking and saying, oh, I thought it was a sweater. Well, so we've discovered, so I originally began and designed the one that I'm wearing, which is a traditional style poncho I put a fringe on. And then I was like, oh, I really fancy one that's got sleeves. And then I made it and I discovered that it's actually called a swancho. So a sweater and poncho together. Who knew, hey? So basically I've got it here to kind of show you make exactly the same body pattern entirely. So it comes down to a point, and there's some pictures that I have with me with it tucked in. So because it's really soft and drapey fabric because of the granny stitch, it's really easy to tuck in. It's not really bulky. So you can tuck it in and make it look like it's straight, or you can have it out. And then at the sides, you basically just decide where you would like. You make the sleeves separately, and then we attach them on. You can crochet them, or you can sew them in place, and then that creates the sleeve. And if you want to, you can seam a tiny bit of the side. You don't have to at all. It depends how you want it to sit on you. But I just seamed a tiny bit of the side under there. So it can be as open or as closed as you want it to be. And the whole of this pattern is really kind of like you can adjust the yoke around the bottom of the yoke here. You can add or take away as many of these clusters as you want. It's really customizable.
Someone just asked, Hannah, do you think that a hood would work on your poncho?
Definitely. Now I want to do that. Oh, no.
Way to go.
It definitely would work. And I can't wait to see it.
It's so fun.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So my fun internet. So Emma, my daughter, was behind the scenes helping, and she's been booted out now. So I guess the internet really got booted out. So yep, good old internet.
And if you are going to our blogs, I just want to note that we'll have blogs that make us a small amount of income when you're there, that because of the ads. You'll see lots of like a few ads on our blog. And a lot of times too, when you're scrolling, because I think someone has this question, when you're scrolling down, you'll see that the actual pattern instructions are what's called locked. So it's free to unlock that. You're subscribing to Grow. We have instructions on that, but you simply log in with your email and your name, and then you can access all the free patterns on our blog. If you ever get logged out, you just log in with the same email and name again, and it will unlock that content for you to view. And that just helps us earn a little bit of money through those ads and through that locked content on our blog. And so it's really important to become a blog subscriber because that's how we get that content to you, and we still are able to pay our bills. So yeah.
Okay. So when we say blog, we mean our websites.
Yes.
So go to our websites. Our YouTube channels are separate. And some people are wondering again how to get there. And each of our websites are basically our business names. So I'm mjsoffthehookdesigns.com. Hannah is handjancrochet.com, and Brianna is briannakdesigns.com. So plus, if you sign up, you will be able to get all the direct links are there, but you can also just search for us and go to our websites to find.
Or join our email list, because we did send out links this morning in an email. So you really just want to sign up for everything, because then it's easier to find the information when it does come out. You'll catch it in one of the places at least. So if you're on our email list, be sure to check those emails this morning. Those contain all the links that you need as well for the blog patterns. So,
yes, exactly. How cute is Hannah crocheting right now? I wish I could be crocheting, but I want to make sure I'm like clicking on all your stuff. And I think someone asked what you were crocheting too. What are you working on, Hannah?
Well, granny squares,
Oh,
because
Okay.
you two know what I sketched. I told you,
Yeah.
didn't I, what I sketched?
Yep, I know. I know.
And I just had another granny square idea. So
I love how it was in the future. Yesterday was like, yes, in the future that shall happen. And now today Hannah's making the granny squares.
well, I'm not very good at talking, and so if it's something to concentrate on, there's no way that I could do it. But like granny squares, I can make.
Yes.
So I'll just start.
Yes. I love when I see women in their jobs, or even men in their jobs, like crocheting or knitting, especially when it's like a government official. And I think some people think that you're distracted when you're doing that, but I actually think it helps you pay attention and be more alert.
Well,
You're
there's
not like getting bored and sleepy or spacing out when you keep your hands like busy. And especially with something simple, I think you're a more active listener. If I were to go back to college right now, which I'm not, but let's just pretend I were, I would take yarn to every lecture.
Yep.
I totally would. That would have helped me not fall asleep for some of them.
Oh, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Although
Especially astronomy.
I do still fall asleep crocheting sometimes in the evenings if I'm really tired. Very often, like nod off into my crochet.
I think everyone can relate. So yeah.
Someone asked about my back, and I'm still struggling, but I do feel like I'm a little bit better. But then I feel like I almost jinx myself when I say that, because I told the girls, I'm like, I think I'm doing better today. And then I had a really bad night, but nights are just bad because once you're laying and you're not moving, it really just kind of aggravates the pain. But I did get a treadmill, like just a walking pad for under my desk. So I am walking a lot now on that when I'm working, and that is definitely helpful. So I'm not sitting as much. But poor Brianna, she's had some issues too.
I know.
Yeah. So we just are working too much, girls.
I know.
Well, now I because both of you guys got these walking pads, didn't you? So every time we have like behind the scenes meetings and stuff, these two are like walking away. And I'm like sat there doing that. And I told David, my husband, I was like, I think I really need to get one of these. And he was like, why would you want to walk while you're working? Like he didn't get it at all.
For me though, we're at our desk so much.
Kind of getting hurt. She needs one too.
She needs one. The second Michelle was telling it, the first time I saw Michelle walking, I'm like, wait, you're walking. Tell me more. What are we doing here? Yeah. And then that day, she's like sending me the link, and I was like, purchased. It has been amazing.
You bought it. You're like, yep, done.
No regrets at all. I'm finding that I feel better this last week walking every single day, and I'll walk for at least an hour. I know that sounds a little bit like a lot, but like it's just like chill. And like 2 days ago, I walked for 90 minutes. And I think it's just heart health for me. It's just like keeping my heart healthy, because I've read so many articles that like sitting at a desk all day, for those who sit at a desk all day, it's like the new smoking is what it's been labeled. So it's not like healthy. And that's why I think I have a lot of shoulder pain lately. I've just been sitting too much. Yeah. It is helpful. I do love it. Michelle had a brilliant idea. I think it's amazing. I'm glad I jumped on that train, and now we got to get Hannah on that.
Yeah. And I think I've been able to, and this is where I feel like I'm getting a little bit better, because I've been able to up the speed a little bit. At first I was like, really slow. I wasn't hardly feel like I'm not even hardly walking, but I'm not sitting. So that's good. So I'm just keeping my joints moving. And I walk with my daughter and my mom usually outside too. And they're like, oh, Mom, you're moving quicker. You're actually like more than a snail's pace. So I'm like, yes, finally. I do have an MRI scheduled for October 30th. So that's coming up. And I go to physio today when we're done on this call. So hopefully she'll kind of see like maybe things have loosened up a little bit. Okay. But let's answer this question about the sizes. So all of our patterns go up to 5X. So they do go from extra small to 5X. So 4X is included in that. So you're good. You're good with any of these patterns. And most all of the garments that we make, some of my older ones maybe didn't, but anything within the last few years all go up to 5X.
Yes. Someone asked if they can make my sweater longer. So first off, right now I'm wearing the cardigan, but you can adjust this. I have instruction there. Super simple. you can adjust this to be a V-neck sweater. I have one right here where it doesn't have the open front. And can you make it longer? Yes. Here's what I'm going to say about it though. You're just going to add more squares. So you just do like another row of these diamond squares. And every single time you add another row, it's going to make it longer. But I do think because it's like the nature of the beast with granny cardigans, it's going to be the same width all the way down. So if you happen to be like me and you're smaller up top and wider at the bottom, you might want to consider doing an oversized one so that it fits everywhere. So at that point, you're going to go to your measurements and you're going to measure whatever is the widest part of you. And then you're going to pick the pattern for those measurements. And it might end up being like, for me, it might end up being that it's a bit more oversized so that it fits comfortably around my like larger hips. But that's okay because that's in style right now. The oversized garments are cozy and in style. And it's a great option to do. So if you want to make it longer, definitely you can do that. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And people are asking now which walking pad we have. We might have to throw those links in there.
I know. I may have to. I think
go back to our conversation. Find the links you sent me.
Yeah. How much have we chatted though from that time?
Way too much. That's why I love that search within your chats, and it will like pop me right to it.
I was going to say, so similarly, Michelle, because some people have been asking in my group, can your coatigan is like down to your knees, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's super long. It's like
you could easily adjust the length of that, couldn't you?
Way back. It's like it's
look at that.
So nice. It's like a house coat.
So pretty,
cozy.
But yeah, if people wanted to make that shorter, that would be nice and easy to do, wouldn't it?
So easy. I have all the charts. They're on the blog and in the pattern. So it shows you all the squares for each of the sizes. And you just can like cross them out. Like, okay, I'm going to take off this many. And every square my gauge is 4 inches. So it's pretty easy to calculate, right? And you can measure your own body and just see like where you want it to stop. And like I say, so if you're like looking at the squares, you could be like, well, I want it here, like hip length or just down a little bit more. So really you just decide, how many squares. And
yes,
super easy to customize to what. And even if you want the short, like the sleeves, a little bit, like mine are pretty long. You could even probably eliminate some squares there if you wanted your sleeves a little bit shorter. But mine's pretty oversized on, like, this is the medium large. So it does look a little bigger on me because it's going to fit a little bit larger person as well, which will make the sleeves actually not as long if you're, let's say, a large making this size, where if you're a bit on the smaller side of the medium large, then that's where you can kind of play around. But all the schematics, measurements, everything are in the pattern when you purchase it. So you can look at all those measurements and tweak it to your body measurement.
Oh, someone said they just used the coupon code to get the yarn for the Swan Show. Oh, you got to be so excited. I'm so excited for you.
I can't wait to see all the different colors that people have chosen.
I know. This is the fun part now. The crochet along started. Everyone's going to be working. We're going to see the colors that people are picking. And that's when it gets really exciting in all of our community groups, seeing all of the different. I saw at one of my squares done up for the bag in my group, and it was in like blues, and it looked so pretty. I'm so excited.
I saw that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Already like being blocked.
Yes.
Very organized.
Yes.
So I guess now we're getting close to the end of the live. We should maybe do the giveaway. So
yes, let's do it.
So if you just want to comment from where you're from, or I don't know, what do you guys think? What should
any comments? We're just going to scroll and pick one.
Where you're from, what you're going to make, what's your favorite pattern you made, anything.
Just start commenting, and we're going to scroll through, and we're going to pick a winner. If you've already purchased the collection, we will just refund you. No worries there, but just comment away, and we'll scroll through, and we will pick a winner.
Some people from Florida
just popped up. Hannah, would the Heatherly Sport from the last cowl work for the poncho? Yes, I think it would. And we did put Heatherly Sport, didn't we, as a substitute in the supply list see that it's in there. I think Heatherly Sport would work really nicely for this. Definitely.
It would. And I actually ended up doing a bit of swatching with Heatherly Sport and Heatherly Worsted, and either would work because of the way the granny squares are. They have a little bit of room. I like to say breathable room because of like chain spaces and such like that. That for mine, the worsted or the sport weight would work in the Heatherly. They're not like far off from each other. The Heatherly worsted is a lighter worsted as well.
Yeah,
So
it is.
it's thick. Yeah. Look at all those comments. That's, oh my goodness.
I can't even see them.
I love it.
You're making your bag, Brianna. Lots of
It's
people.
like 3 are popping up, 4 are popping up at a time now for me. There's like coming up. That's awesome. I love it. So exciting. I love how many people have joined this. And that's what's so fun about a crochet along. If you've never joined a crochet along or you have, these are so much fun. The purpose of a crochet along is to feel like you are crocheting with community. So we are all crocheting together. We're working on these same projects, whichever one you pick. There will be other people making it. It's a beautiful way to come together and not feel so alone in our craft. Because if you are like all of us, oftentimes there are people in your household who don't totally get it. Not that they don't love what we do or support it, but you get so excited going, oh my gosh, look at this cute granny square I made. And they're like, cool. And you're like, okay, a little bit more excitement.
They're like, what?
What? You're like, what's a granny square? Okay. So it's so fun to just kind of get super excited and chat with other yarn lovers who get it. You can ask questions. You can share yarn choices. We love sharing the whole process along the way. It's not a race. If you're like next year, you're like, hey, I finally made my first granny square. We're going to be like, yes, thanks for sharing. That's awesome. We want you to share. But it's fun to do a crochet along just because it's just such an exciting thing. And that's why we do them. We love seeing all the projects and everyone working on all the things. So someone asked if we offer grading courses. None of us do yet. We do more just like pattern support, support for making the pattern, but none of us have ventured into teaching design aspects. I don't really have much time. I don't know, you ladies are busy. We're so busy designing.
Great idea, but
we're so busy designing that I don't know if someone just asked, what is grading? So grading is when you take one size of something you've made in a pattern and you grade it. Essentially, you do the math to size it into all the sizes. So it's taking one design concept, say you started with the size medium, and you're going to make that size medium work for sizes extra small to 5X. And that's what grading is called. It's a lot of math, a lot of worksheets, a lot of Excel sheets, a lot of trial and error, a lot of spreadsheets. Yeah. I don't think any of us really pay for anyone to grade for us. We all tend to do our own grading, I believe.
But I know some tech editors will do that. Maybe finding a good tech editor, and so you can pay them to either do it, or some of them offer courses.
Yeah, tech editors are more the area that sometimes will offer those courses for people to learn to grade.
Yeah,
for sure.
They will. And you can pay them to do that. But I think it's important as designers to learn how probably to do it yourself and understanding the math and really understanding gauge and.
Yep. And even sometimes when you understand all of that and you do all the math, you start working on it and you realize, no, it doesn't for style or for that stitch or for those stitch repeats or that stitch count, back to the drawing board because you have to adjust something. Sometimes I've gone into patterns where mathematically it looked amazing on paper, but because maybe the drape ended up being so drapey, I guess, for lack of a better word, the sleeves ended up being longer just because of the drape. And so then you got to go, okay, we got, there's the weight of the yarn, the pull of the yarn, and then we readjust everything again. So yeah, it's a complicated process. That's why someone asked, I'm sure, because it's kind of a mystical thing in the design world. I know when I first started grading, all I can say is it just takes a ton of work, a lot of practice, a lot of experience to get better at it. It's a process.
And knowing that, you know what, you're not going to get it right first time. Very, very rarely do you get
being
it
okay with that. Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to address, Angie's been having some problems getting in. So make sure to email us, Angie, so we can get you a reset code. We can send you, if you have signed up, we can send you a reset code to get in. But going to our websites, you don't need a code. Like if you're just looking for our patterns, again, it's just our design names. So mjsoffthehookdesigns.com, briannakdesigns.com, handjamcrochet.com. And you don't need a code or anything to get to our website. So if you're looking for the free patterns, they're all there. If you need to get back in because you can't, and other people could be having this problem too, you can't log back in to see all of your extra details, your supply list and all the bonuses, then email us and we can help get you reset and get you in. Okay. We don't want you to be so super stressed out. So just email us and we can look after it.
Yes. All right. So is someone available to pick a winner? How do you guys do? You want to scroll and then someone say
that? Yeah. Because Emma's gone now, so I can just scroll and I can pick somebody.
Okay. Do you want to scroll and like one of us will say stop?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Hannah, you tell us when.
Okay. Oh, I've lost count. Hang on. I got too excited. Okay. And stop.
Okay, it looks like it is, I got to show this name because it's Ed and Shaldolin. So I am going to pop in. She says she's making the code again. I'm going to pop in the comments where you can email us and we can get that for you. Maybe just MJ's Off the Hook.
Yeah, just don't write your email in the chat. We don't want to share that with the world.
Yeah, just MJ's Off the Hook. Yeah, at gmail.com. If you email me, we'll get you set up for that free to get all of the collection. So Ed and Shaldolin,
they've seen it. They said, "Oh wow, yeah."
Oh, they've seen it. Okay,
oh, good.
They've won.
I didn't email any of us, but MJ's Off the Hook at gmail.com. Super easy to remember. You can send me an email and we'll get you all set up for that. I'll pop it in here.
This has been fun. I'm digging this. I've already made 3 today.
Oh, look. They do go so fast, don't they?
They do. And like, there's something so gratifying. It's just like, I can't wait to weave in the ends and block them. And then sometimes I don't actually want to join them. Like I do because I want the final project. But then I just kind of like having them, like they're so pretty, like stacked. I don't know. You get a whole stack of them and it's just.
They are pretty and they're nice to take pictures of when they're all laid out.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So
did we cover everything that we could?
I think so. If there was a question we did not answer, I apologize because some of these comments were coming across 4 at a time and it's like, going so fast. Yeah, you can click the QR code on the screen to get more information. You can ask any other questions in our community group. You can try tagging us. We are live in several different places. We're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're everywhere. So you can always tag us if you have a burning question or come ask it in our community group. We want to make sure if you have any questions that you're getting it answered as far as this collection goes. So yes. Oh, someone's doing a winter, so bright. She's a winter, so she's doing bright colors. Ooh.
Nice. It's going to be amazing. So yes, join. If you haven't joined the community groups, make sure you join them because that's really where all the action is.
Yes.
So that's where everyone's posting everything, asking their questions, and our groups are amazing to people will hop on and answer your questions if we're not able to get to them. Everyone is so helpful in our groups. So just join the Facebook community groups and start posting your pictures so we can see the colors you picked, see what you're working on, see your granny squares, which we're super excited to see.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and you can always reach out to us through email as well. If you can't, if we've missed your comment or something, just always feel free to email.
Yes. And if you need the links to our community groups, we can always try to drop them in the comments as soon as we get off this call. And they're also linked on all of our blogs and in our social media links and stuff like that. We try to post this stuff everywhere so it's easy to find. And also thanks for the reminder. We can
in the supply list too. So if
they are in the supply list, yes.
Links are included in there. We've tried to put everything in a million different places, I feel.
Sign up for emails because we often will try to, we'll put those links either at the bottom or we'll we can do that in the future. Emails coming up, we'll put all those links in there. Join all the places, and then you'll be less likely to miss any links or information for sure. Community group, email list, this QR code on here. That way you have access to all the information easily.
And we also had the question, will we be going live again? And yes, we will. So you will see lots of us over the next, I guess, little less than a month now, but up till November 8th, we will be going live.
Yes. And as far as logging into our blogs, I know we keep having this question. When you log into our blogs, that's what she's talking about is the grow. So when you go to our blogs, there will be what's called locked content. If you've been to our blogs before, it probably won't pop up. You're already logged in. But if some reason you got logged out, you go to where it says like this section is locked, sign up for Grow to be able to see the content. And you just enter your name and your email address into that Grow form, and then it will unlock that blog. It's not like a password you have to remember or anything like that.
Yeah.
There's no code or password or.
And
if it's asking you for a code or money or anything like that, then you've
not us.
Wrong place. Yeah.
That would be an ad. Yeah. I'm going to pop in a link to pause that so you guys don't hear that loud. I made a video and it's on my channel, and it shows you exactly how to navigate. And I mean, my blog is very similar to Brianna and Hannah's as well. So it's going to be, and the Grow portion is going to be the same. So I'm just going to pop that in here because I made the video specifically to help people with that. And I always post it before you get to the content on any of my lock content. I always have that video pasted in there for people just in case they need help. And once you get it, it's super easy. It's just getting it. Once you get it, you're good to go. I'm usually always logged in. I never log out. So it's really easy to, once you're logged, if you stay logged in, it'll always be showing you.
And it's a nice feature because you can save posts. You can like organize, like it's a great way to keep organized when you are finding free content on our blogs or things you might want to favorite and come back to later. So it's a great feature that we put on there to help the experience be the best.
And I show them how to do all that in that video too. So I show you how to start it, and then you have them all saved. So if for this crochet along, you want to save all of these specific patterns, you can do that, and then you can easily hop to them without having to go and do a lot of searching.
We love organizing.
Okay, so I think that's everything. We have to hop off. I've got to go to physio soon, so we got to get off and get moving. It was nice seeing everybody here. Thanks so much for joining us. Thank you so much for joining the crochet along, and we can't wait to see you next time.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.